Hi, everybody. Hub Arkush along with Arthur Arkush and Kevin Fishbain here, getting you ready for the all-important preseason game number 3. The Chicago Bears will travel to Cincinnati. They'll take on the Bengals on Saturday night. Extended playing time for the first unit, for the second unit, the installation of a little bit of a game plan. And Kevin, a team that's been to the playoffs 3 years running as an opponent, it should be a good test for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I spent all last week talking about the value of practicing with the Colts, playing against the Colts, a very good team. You get that with Cincinnati. You got experienced players. And I think it's going to be a good opportunity for the offensive line to work on their pass protection against guys like Geno Atkins, they're going to see on the other side of the Cincinnati defensive line. Another big test for Kyle Fuller with A.J. Green on the other side. So, both starters on both sides of the ball need to continue to get used to the playbook, get comfortable, and Cincinnati is a good opponent to do it against.
Arthur, we've talked a lot with the defense about pass protection, about pass rush, about the secondary. But the reality is my biggest fear for this defense is stopping the run. And with Jeremy Hill and Giovanni Bernard and some other folks, the Bengals will test the Bears' defense on the ground.
Yeah, it's going to be another great test in that respect and an opportunity to see some of the guys that we're going to have to get familiar with for the first 3 weeks of the season. Eddie Goldman has made terrific progress since the beginning of the camp. That'll have to continue. We just talked about guys like Brandon Dunn, guys you maybe weren't going to count on as much as usual. There's even an opportunity perhaps for an undrafted, if it's Terry Williams or someone we're not yet to know about. That's going to be a huge deal. And then don't forget about Christian Jones, Shea McClellan, the other inside linebackers. The onus is up on these guys with Ratliff down.
Kevin, we got to see a little bit of the Bengals on national TV last Monday night. Andy Dalton looked awful. A.J. Green didn't look very good either, but that test of A.J. Green against Kyle Fuller, I think is key because, honestly, Kyle Fuller is not having a great training camp.
No, and if he's going to be the lockdown corner that the team wants him to be, expects him to be, hopes him to be, he has to be able to play well against the best receivers in the league, and A.J. Green is one of them. Andy Dalton did not look good the other night, but, this is also a test for the safeties and just continuing to figure out this pass defense. Remember, we don't know if Adrian Amos is going to be the starting safety week 1. This is another opportunity for him to make sure he's always in the right spot. And then the other cornerbacks involved. Mohamed Sanu is a good player on the Cincinnati Bengals as well. You get Tim Jennings, Alan Ball, maybe Tracy Porter gets his first preseason game in. A lot of things to keep an eye on in the secondary that suddenly kind of turns into a concern.
Arthur, the challenge for the Bears on offense, the Bengals, a little bit of a no-name defense, but they did defend the run pretty well last season. That's something they're going to try and do again Saturday night against the Bears.
And we know the Bears are going to continue leaning on the running game. It's been terrific in the first 2 weeks of the preseason. I'm even more interested, as I think a lot of Bears fans are, to see what's going on with the wide receivers. I don't expect to see Alshon Jeffrey, Marquise Wilson, a total wild card. We need to see people step up. We saw signs of Josh Bellamy, but who else? Cutler needs to start building a rapport with some of these guys, and you'd love to see that first-team offense find the end zone, which we haven't seen yet.
And finally, Kevin, the Bengals will get after the passer a little bit. We expect to see Charles Leno again. He's entitled to another shot. You don't judge him on one game, but he's going to have to step up his game or we will not be able to avoid any longer saying the Bears have a huge problem at right tackle.
The Bears want someone to win that right tackle job. They don't want to give it to Charles Leno because Jordan Mills isn't playing well or vice versa, just give it to Mills. They want one of those two guys to go out and win it. And this is a very important opportunity because the first-team offense, for the most part, is not going to play in that preseason finale. This is the chance to do it against a good pass-rushing Bengals team.
All right, guys, you've read us all complain a little bit, maybe even whine a little bit about these preseason games. This is the one that counts. Get ready to watch the Bears and the Bengals. We will know a lot more about what the Bears have on opening day after preseason game number 3 against the Cincinnati Bengals. For all the best coverage 24/7, stay right where you're at ChicagoFootball.com.